If there's one name synonymous with Collingwood, it's the Millane name. And in 2026, after 35 years, a Millane will return to Collingwood and wear the black and white stripes. Let's talk about it. So over on Facebook in the Queensland official Collingwood supporter group, shout out to Matt Moore and all the good work he does and his committee does for the Queensland supporter group. John Millane, brother of the late great Darren Millane, posted that his son Zai will be training with the development squad or signed on with the development squad at Collingwood for 2026. That is 35 years since the passing of the late great Darren Millane, and another Millane will be at the club. And it's just wild to think that I never thought I'd be making a video about that. I don't think any Collingwood supporter would have thought that the Millane name would come back to Collingwood, especially after the family moved up to Queensland. And we'll get into Zion and the family history over in Queensland and stuff. But this is just such a great story, and I'm so keen to see Zai's progress in 2026 and beyond. So like I mentioned, some of the Millanes moved over to Queensland decades ago. Zai's dad, Sean, won a flag for Southport in 1992. So the premiership pedigrees run through the Millane family. And Zai's uncle, John, who won a flag in Dandenong, or with Dandenong, coaches some clubs up there and was the coach of Palm Beach Currumbin Lions as well. So football pedigree, we know it as Collingwood supporters, just runs through the blood of the Millane surname. And now we get Zai at the Pies. So a little bit about Zai Millane and the type of footballer he is, and again, his pedigree through football. Now, accomplished basketballer, getting picked for some state league stuff, but his football journey really, obviously playing football all the way through, really began to take sort of a big foothold when he got selected in the 2018 Queensland state team. And then from there, he won a best and fairest in 2017, South Coast representation in 2017-18. And then the biggest thing is that the Suns picked him up, the Suns Academy picked him up as a bottom ager, and he's represented the Suns for the last couple of years up there in their academy, which is absolutely incredible. And in saying that, was a part of the leadership group a couple of years ago with Leo Lombard as well. So he is a defender, 191 centimeter defender, a lockdown defender, a intercept marking defender, a rebounding defender, but in the different teams that he has played for, they have swung him through the middle a little bit, has done a lot of really, really good stuff in the middle, great with his clearance work. But I think from what I've read and from the little bits that I've seen about him, he is more of that lockdown defender. So fast forward to 2024 and 2025 seasons with the Gold Coast Suns' academy. So he represented the Allies in the National Championship, played VFL for the Gold Coast Suns. He got called up twice in 2025 to play with the big boys in the VFL, which is just immeasurable experience, which is really great for his development. He even nominated for the 2025 mid-season draft, was overlooked in the national draft as well in 2024, but he is working on his football and could become a really good lockdown defender. Not a key defender, 191 centimeters, so playing on those medium to small or small to medium forwards, but from, like I said, from what I've been reading, would make a really good lockdown, intercept marking, rebounding defender, because that is where his skills lie. So when news came across that Zai Millane would play for Collingwood in their development squad, I thought it was just absolutely incredible. And we know the story of Pants. We know what he did in 1990. We know that he won the AFL MVP and played the final series with a broken thumb, and the mythology around him, and what a great person he was, and what a even greater footballer he was. And now for Zai to come into the club that his uncle played for, I think that the symmetry of that and the emotional like attachment of that as a Collingwood fan, as a Collingwood supporter, it's not lost on me. And I know it won't be lost on the Millane family as well. I'm not going to speak for them or anything like that, but I think it's just really, really amazing to see a Millane back at the club that started it all for them. So in terms of what the development squad is for Collingwood, it's not so much an out and out development squad. It could be referencing to a number of things. I don't know if this means time in the VFL or whatever that may be. So you could be looking at the Peter Dacos Academy, which, and I quote, seeks to create a connection to the club between past players and their children, along with youth from those of First Nations and culturally diverse backgrounds. So the Peter Dacos Academy is kind of split up into three sort of categories. So you're looking at mini Magpies, which is the younger ages, the futures, which is about 11 to 15, and then the high performance category, which is 16 to 19-year-olds, which Zai fits into that category. You get access to all the Collingwood facilities, the coaches there, training with the squad at times as well, and the opportunities to progress through that. And yes, he's done the hard yards with, going through the Allies and the Gold Coast Suns Academy, but now Collingwood get to nurture him into, hopefully, some sort of Collingwood player, whether that be VFL or gets picked up along the lines as a mature age or something like that. But his development now will be in-house, and that is just absolutely brilliant. When I saw this pop up on my Facebook, I didn't know if I wanted to make a video or not, because I don't want to be the person that adds all this sort of pressure and all this sort of stuff to Zai Millane. But I think it's just a really great story, and not so much about, well, I guess it is about the Millane name coming back to Collingwood, but it's about the growth of Zai Millane and through everything, like I just said, that he has gone through with these, with these being in the leadership group and getting overlooked in drafts and being a part of the Suns Academy. And it just shows that there are so many more pathways to the AFL. It doesn't just have to be the national draft. And we've seen that numerous times. So I'm just really excited to see his growth, and that after 30 years or 3 decades, the Millane name is back at Collingwood. And I just think I just think it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Zai will know what he's sort of, getting into when he steps into Collingwood with that surname. But I know, and I haven't met the kid, and I've met the family once when I went up to Queensland for, I think it was the mass simulation game. Um, I would know that he would be carving out his own path, and that's the beauty of football. And I do think that with Collingwood being such a family-oriented club, every supporter is going to get behind him on his journey and support him, until the cows come home. But I pass the question on to you. How excited are you to see Zai Millane pull on the black and white stripes in whatever form that may be in 2026 and seeing his growth? Let me know your thoughts down below. But until then, if you want to become a Swoop Luke member, the links are in the comments. It's $10 a month or $100 annually, where you get 2 months free. You'll be supporting me. You should be supporting the channel, helping me make these videos for you and posting on all my social content and stuff like that. If you can't, that's incredible still. I still love you. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can tell your family, you can tell your friends, you can tell your pets. But until next time, Double Shackers, I'll swoop you later. Flurry at Pico.